Sports Snippets, Dennis Sullivan, how the heck you doing here? Sunday night. Just got done watching a short while ago. The Dolphins lose to the Jets on the road by a final score of 40-17. This was a 19-17 game. Late, the Jets, to their credit, would score 3 late touchdowns, pulling away in this one by a score once again of 40-17. If you do like the content of this particular video, go right ahead. Hit that thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe as well, guys, to my channel. That would be awesome. Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan. Now let's get started. A lot going on now with the Dolphins. Teddy Bridgewater making his first start as a Miami Dolphin. And unfortunately, that would last exactly one play as he would get sacked in the end zone and would leave the game with an injury. Don't know. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about the injury and all that. We'll just find out more as time goes on and as the week goes on. But the Dolphins, there were a couple of good signs, mainly with Mostert running the football. But for the most part, this was really a day for the New York Jets, who really do get credit with a lot of positive play out there. And really, if you look at this performance by the Jets today, they won this game by not beating themselves. I don't even think they turned the ball over once. As a matter of fact, and Zach Wilson, I'll tell you what, it may not have been spectacular, but he played a good game. That was a good football game played by Zach Wilson. He made some nice sideline throws. He did what he had to do. He finished 14-21, 210 yards. Doesn't throw any touchdowns, but doesn't make any big mistakes. No interceptions. The Jets would run the ball for 5 touchdowns. All 5 touchdowns coming via the run, led by Michael Carter's 2 touchdown runs. He had 21 yards on the ground. The main threat for the Jets when it came to the running game was Mr. Breece Hall, who looked good out there. Would finish with 97 yards and 18 carries. He had Braxton Berrios, 15-yard touchdown run. Hall also ran for touchdowns. Sorry about that, guys. Meant to mention that. And then Wilson had a touchdown run, 4 carries, 2 yards, and a touchdown for Zach Wilson. So here's the thing. I don't know what's going to happen in Week 6. The Dolphins have a huge game coming up on Week 6, which will be the 16th of October at home against the 4-1 Minnesota Vikings, a good team, much improved Viking team. Can Skylar Thompson lead them to victory? I don't know the answer to that, but I will say this about Skylar Thompson. He was able to, for much of the game anyway, he was able to get his offense to move the football a lot of this game. He didn't, when you look at the stats and all that, it didn't really look that great. He was 19-33, 166 yards. Threw the 1 interception, didn't throw any touchdowns. But he made a couple of really athletic plays. He's very mobile. It will be interesting to see if Skylar Thompson, because a lot of times you throw in, especially a rookie, into an environment that's very difficult to win in, such as on the road, huge crowd there for the Jets. It will be interesting to see, I think, if Skylar Thompson gets a full week to prepare as the starter, what the end result of that would be against the Vikings. I think he would play. My guess is he would play at least fairly. I think he'd play fairly well. Not sure about Bridgewater's status yet. Well, as mentioned earlier, we will find out a lot more about that. He would just finish 0 for 1 because they counted that as an incomplete, throwing the football in this game prior to leaving the game with the injury. Now, there's one positive takeaway for the Dolphins. For the second straight week, Raheem Mostert would run the football very well, especially today. finishing with 113 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown run. He also added a 9-yard reception. Mostert is looking good, and he's running the ball with authority out there. He looks good. No other way to say it, guys. Mostert looks good running the football. Tyreek Hill, 2 carries, 13 yards. Myles Gaskin, 9 yards, 4 carries. You have Durham Smythe on the quick snap that he ran up the middle. I like that call for a 1-yard touchdown run. Chase Edmonds really not involved too much in the running game today, just 1 yard on 1 carry. It was tough for the Dolphins to get the ball down the field with the rookie Thompson, again, getting thrown into a difficult situation. But Tyreek Hill would finish with 7 catches, 47 yards. Mike Gesicki, 30 yards on 1 catch. Myles Gaskin out of the backfield, 24 yards. A lot of that was at the end, 3 catches. Jalen Waddle, not 100%, it didn't seem. I know he was questionable for much of the week. He would finish 23 yards on 3 catches. Cedric Wilson Jr., 26 yards on 2 catches. And then you have Smythe with an 8-yard catch and Trent Sherfield with a 5-yard catch. I tell you, the Jets deserve this one. They will play at Green Bay next week. With the victory, the Jets are 3-2. With the loss, the Dolphins fall to 3-2. Jets on the road in Green Bay. Miami will be playing home, as mentioned, against a 4-1 Minnesota Viking Kirk Cousin-led team. Or Kirk Cousins. I believe it's a plural on his last name. What else can I tell you, guys? Hall had almost, do you realize he almost had 200 total yards because he had that huge reception. He ran for 97 at 100 yards receiving. Guy has 197 total yards between running the football and receiving. He had that huge reception down the left sideline, setting up a touchdown in the first half for the Jets. Corey Davis, 2 for 38. Garrett Wilson, 3 for 27. From that point, it was really just Zach Wilson spreading it around. C.J. Uzomah, 2 catches, 12 yards. Carter out of the backfield, 2 for 12. Jeff Smith, 1 for 11. Elijah Moore, the same, 1 for 11. Braxton Berrios, although he had the touchdown, he's a return man, but he's a good role player for them too on offense. He had the 15-yard rushing touchdown. He also had 1 catch, but for minus 1 yard. So what does all this mean? I mean, like I said, guys, offensively, I don't really think the Dolphins were that disappointing offensively. I really don't when you consider the fact, obviously, Tua's out, then Bridgewater goes out. You're now playing with your third-string quarterback. It was on the defensive side of the ball, and there's injuries there too. Of course, no Xavier Howard. They were missing, I believe it was 2 starters today. But here's where, and I'll leave you on this note, here's where it gets like here we go again kind of feelings with the Dolphins this year, because of the fact that there are injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Defense did not play well at all, guys. The defense did not play well at all. A lot of third downs. The Jets were able to convert. Zach Wilson had them off balance for much of this game. Clearly, if you go Zach Wilson versus Dolphin defense, advantage Zach Wilson clearly. He did a good job. You got to give him credit. Dolphins now, after starting off 3-0, and again, we can make all the excuses we want. This will be, I'm going to say this, it's a winnable game in Week 6. Although, and you got Jefferson's a big wide receiver for Minnesota. We're going to have to get more healthy. Minnesota's a good team. So let me know what you think. We'll see what happens. That's all we could say, right? The Bills are now in first place. They destroyed the Steelers today. I don't know. Last time I checked, it was like 38-3. Not sure if that's how it wound up. So Bills are now 4-1. Dolphins and Jets at 3-2. So there you go, guys. There you go. I mean, we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say. Patriots got to win. So everyone else won in the division. Patriots are now 2-3, and they won convincingly against Detroit Lions today. So let me know what you think. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.